how does Michael feel himself after the accident he suffered on the stage in Germany last October?
Well, he's feeling better. It's healing. It's just getting better and better. Of course, it's a bit depressing for him to sit around for weeks and not be able to do really anything. However, he's slowly getting a bit more mobile and can move around a bit. On stage, he stands up a bit now. We have a stool for him just in case, so he can relax a little because he can't put too much weight on his knee. We expect it's going to be like this for at least another 4 or 5 weeks, and at least progressively getting better. But he's going to have to be careful in the future, that's for sure. It's a shitty accident. But you know, his spirits are good and he sings good, so that's
because
awesome.
The accident was on the stage when you were playing.
Exactly. Last song.
Oh my god.
That was
Unisonic.
Yeah. It was a shame.
Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about the last album, the second Unisonic album. You have been the main composer, the main songwriter this time.
Yes.
This is because Kay was really busy with the last Camry album at the time, or?
Yeah, that is the biggest reason I think that I've written so many songs. I also just had them ready, so I was fortunate. Because sometimes you ask any songwriter, you have good days, bad days. Sometimes weeks nothing happens, or months nothing good happens, and then in 3 or 4 days a lot happens. I had a lot of material ready. We wanted to go forward with the album, and we actually waited. Our plan was to actually release it even earlier, but we waited because of other things going on, and then we decided, no, we've got to carry on, you know. And Kai gave his input in the pre-production phases in the rehearsal room, so he did give an input, but he didn't write any material, and that's going to change the next time. I'm glad it worked out well, because you still need the help of your band to make the songs. It's not like a solo album or something like that. You need the band to give input to make it sound like a band, and that we still have and did on the last record. But yes, I was the main composer, and I think the next record it's going to be a little bit more evened out this time. At least I hope it is.
Okay. And because you are the main songwriter, how do you consider this is a bit different to the first album? Really different, or?
It's a little bit more guitar oriented, that's for sure. Okay, but the first album we were still looking. You know, I think a lot of bands are kind of looking what they're doing. You know, what do we want to do? Where do we sound good? What's our strong points? What's our weak points? And we found a little bit more after the first album where our strengths and weaknesses lie. It was obvious that in the second record we tried to go a little bit more on a steady path of guitar, rock music. Definitely some metal influence, a little bit faster, no question about it. We want to keep, for sure, the guitar dominance, the melody dominance from Michael's side, good riffs, but we want to have our mid-tempo songs. We want to have the hard rock edge to it. We want to have the metal edge and the hard rock thing both. But we'll never see us go completely power metal, because I think we couldn't really pull it off. At least I couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't. But that's for me very obvious. And like I said, the next record we'll try to look for our weak points and our strong points and find a better solution to the record. But if Kai writes with us, I think it's going to happen automatically.
And as you have been the main songwriter, what are the difference, for example, when you're writing a new Sonic stuff, if you compare it with Place Vendome, for example, because you are singing in the same voice? Or?
Well, when I got to think of the same person singing it, so that's very important. When you write songs, it's very crucial that you keep your singer in mind. You know, if you're a freelance songwriter, you just write songs and hope that somebody sings it. That's easy, actually. You just write. You know, and I try to use that concept too. But I still have to try to twist it. How would Michael do it? What would he do? What wouldn't he do? What does he not want to do? What does he like to do? Where does he sound good? Where does he sound bad? And then I'll have to change it to fit sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work, so I have to accept that. I use it for something else or not at all. But I really try my best to concentrate and imagine him singing it. And sometimes I just do it the easy way. I'll write a basic idea, record it, send it to him, ask him what he thinks. And if he likes it, would you sing a quick demo so let's hear how it sounds with you singing? And then we can see right away, oh yeah, this is cool, or no, this isn't my thing. Because if he doesn't want to sing it, I'm not going to make it.
Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about Light of Dawn tour so far. I reckon you have been playing with Edgar in Germany. What can you tell me about the tour so far?
We were actually started off in Japan, where we were headlining and they were supporting us. And then we went back to Germany. And I must say the tour was really just fantastic. First of all, with the bands, we got along really, really well. Very, very well. We even spent our off days, a couple of Ed guys and Unisonic guys here, and then the other few over there, you know, doing stuff together. I went out with 3 of the guys, the Ed guy in Rome, and did a little sightseeing trip together, and that was a lot of fun. Like I said, got along really well. I felt the package was really strong. I couldn't have imagined a better package.
Yeah.
Package. And as a matter of fact, almost a year before it started, we were thinking about stuff again. I said to Costa, it would be great if we could get on a tour with like Ed Guy. And I had no idea that they were making a record at the time. So that it happened was a big surprise to us. And we're grateful that it happened.
And when did you decide to arrange this special Spanish tour, 3 shows by your own, without them, because they were playing here, I reckon it was last October?
Well, that's the politics of the whole thing. Actually, these shows were arranged a long time before the Ed Guy show. And because of the politics, it would have been unfair to the promoters and the fans to play 3 or 4 shows with Ed Guy here and then come back a month later. You know, so we had to decide what do we want to do, you know, and so we decided to just do the German-wide, a few other shows in Switzerland, and leave it at that.
Is it difficult to organize Unisonic when all the members or most of the members are playing other bands, Gamma Ray, Pink 69, Crocus?
Yes and no. First of all, we have a very, very professional machine and management behind us that take care of a lot of details that we don't have to think about. The other thing is, like, Pink Cream is not very active, so it's not really an issue. The other thing is, for me, Unisonic is a priority, so I take priority in Unisonic. If anything were to happen or a conflict of dates would happen, I would choose Unisonic anyway. The fact that one guy lives in Switzerland, 2 in Hamburg, is a little bit complicated, but it's more of a financial thing than a time thing, you know. We know of each other's schedules. I know when Kai's on tour, and I know when Michael has Avantasia shows, and the other way around. We all know, we're very aware of it. We just plan professionally, make it work, but it does work.
Furthermore, you have a really busy production agenda as well. I can imagine it's because you have many productions, so it's going to be difficult just to take the time for everything.
Yeah, you know, when I do productions, I usually know good in advance. It doesn't happen overnight, so I can make plans for that too and tell the guys, hey, this is when I need time, or make breaks, or if somebody wants me to mix an album and it has to be in 2 weeks, then I say, well, I have this to do, and I try to make it work. There's always a way to make it work, but like I said, I make priorities with Unisonic, no matter what.
I'm just going to talk a little bit about the gigs. For example, I reckon you're playing a couple of Halloween songs. Do you understand when you're putting your foot in Unisonic that the people keep asking for Halloween? It's
yeah, it's gonna happen, isn't it? I mean, look who you've got singing. You got Kai and Michael together again, and that the fans wanted is absolutely understandable and totally acceptable for me. We're still Unisonic. We want to show our Unisonic songs, but you know, 2 songs, it's not gonna kill me. You know, and it's really not a problem. The other bands cover Smoke on the Water, or for me, I'm covering, you know, they're playing their own song, I'm covering, you know, so it's no big deal for me. It's very, very easy, and I have no issues with that at all.
By the way, were you a fan of Halloween when you came from the States? I reckon you came in the 80s.
I actually lived in Germany already. When they were already starting off and going, I was already in Germany. And I knew them from Hamburg because we did productions in Hamburg a lot, Pink Cream, and we knew each other for quite a while, actually. I had the best contact to Ingo. Costa and Ingo were very good friends before the tragedy. I still get along with Marcus very well. I had a good laugh with him, and I've helped him with his other band, what are they called? Kick Hunter. And he's a really nice guy, and yeah. I always liked the stuff they did, and they always had some really cool stuff. We always went to shows, and they were playing. We would be recording, they'd be playing, and we'd go watch. So there was always a small tie there since 30 years.
So you were a friend of Ingo. What do you remember of him?
Just a very nice guy. Unfortunately, I remember too much partying. We all partied too much, all of us. I remember lots of evenings waking up, where the hell am I? And just remembering partying a lot. But Ingo was just a great guy, funny guy, and you could not get along with him. You know, it was too nice of a guy.
Okay. And for example, for the festival next year, could you be able to play Halloween and Unisonic the same bill one day, for example? It would be a little bit strange.
No, it would not be strange at all. As a matter of fact, Pink Cream went on tour in 2012 with Halloween. We played, I think, 10 shows, 12 shows. And the first day was strange, but the next day was just another show. It was no big deal. I wouldn't have an issue with that. I wouldn't feel strange about it. I mean, we're in the same business. We're playing the same kind of music, so to say. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Sooner or later, we're going to meet somehow, you know. But I don't think anybody gives a shit. It's not positive or negative. It's just neutral.
But it seems there is a good relationship between Kai and Michael, because we have seen some videos playing together for a magazine I reckon this year. So they were playing together. So there's a good.
Kai has a good relationship with everybody, actually. So it's there's no issues there, definitely not, you know. And yeah, actually, I'd welcome any kind of show we do together, any place we would meet. You know, I'm always happy to see the guys, and always enjoy watching their shows. And you know, Costa's doing management for them, and yeah, the roots are deep. You know, when there's connection, there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, you had told me before that Pink Cream 69 is not really active at the moment. However, I reckon you will be playing Frontiers Rock Festival next April.
Yes, we will.
And can we expect any new studio material coming soon, or?
I don't think so. It's possible. I'm thinking about doing something extra special for the fans. Something that we actually talked about for a while. And it would be a kind of a recording thing. I'm not going to give any details out, but it would be probably for free. We just do to give fans, just to say, here you go. Just to do something different, because we've never done anything like that, and we have nothing to lose. So,
do you mean a complete album, or just?
Yeah, probably a complete album, but only not in one time. We just can't really give you all the details. We would just say that it would be a neat little piece of cake with different pieces.
The reaction of the fans in regard to the last album was not the one that you expected?
Well, it's always hard to say. The reactions are, oddly enough, always quite good, to be honest. However, we're simply making a music it doesn't fall into any trend of rock music at all. We're not grungy enough for the grungy people. We're not heavy enough for the heavy people. We're too heavy for the light people. You know, so we're stuck. We really don't know where to go. And that's one of our issues, that we make albums and we experiment all the time. We're always trying shit out and doing something weird here, something weird there. We really can't really develop into one way, because we ourselves don't know what we want to do. You know, but not in a bad way. It's just like, fuck it, okay, we want to make a record, let's just make songs and see what happens. It's really not the most professional and the smartest thing to do if you're trying to market your band, but we have no other choice, to be honest. We don't know what to do. So the last album got really good reviews, and actually we can't say that we're not happy. The sales are fine. But of course, you know, we're not breaking billboards or anything like that. We're just existing.
Yeah. It was a bit strange that Costa left the band after more than 25 years, I reckon.
Yeah.
And while the band is not really active at the moment, it was a bit strange. Why did he leave the band?
Well, he was basically overly busy. You got to keep in mind, he's like myself. He's also a family man. He's full-time involved in bottom row management, and we started Unisonic, and he had to say, okay, something has to go. It's too much. He was also doing Crocus, so he stopped playing Crocus, he stopped playing Pink Cream, and concentrated on his management and Unisonic, and that's all he does at the moment. It was kind of strange at first, but the thing is, we got Chris Schmidt to play drums, and Chris Schmidt has been his buddy and technician for years, you know, and I've known Chris for years. I've worked with him in the studio. I knew his talent and his abilities. So after 1 or 2 shows, it was just absolutely normal again. It was nothing weird at all, you know. Sometimes the fans go, oh, it would be nice if he, and, you know, yeah, sure, you know, but life goes on. And it was not a bad ending. It was not like there was issues with the band or like he just had enough. It was simply time to change, you know. And it didn't hurt any of us or the band. I really don't think it did, you know. And the other side you got to see is the positive side. His work is relaxed. Chris Schmidt has a band, and Pink Cream can still exist. So it was only a positive thing, not at all negative.
What are the main projects for Unisonic next year? I don't know, you will be at the major summer festivals, or
yeah.
Will you keep on touring as well? Or?
I think that we're going to just continue with some festivals. That's the first thing we'll do. Well, that is our priority, we'll do festivals and make songs and prepare for another record, you know. Try to keep the ball rolling as much as possible. And once we get to the 3rd record, things we have in mind are like a live DVD, which I think really makes no sense until you have at least 3 records. Because we've already released lots of live material everywhere. I don't see a reason to do that too early. But we want to get the 3rd record out and, you know, finally get to a status so we can do more headlining, touring. We're still climbing the stairs. There's still work to be done, so we want to keep on it.
So could we consider that Unisonic is your main priority at the moment?
Absolutely, it is my main priority.
Yeah, because a part of Unisonic and Pink Cream 69, you are well known for other really well-known projects like Sandstorm or Place Vendome. Can you tell me any update of any of these projects?
Yeah, sure. Well, there will be another Place Vendome. There will be.
Next year? Next
year. Don't know exactly details. There will also be another Chimera, for sure. What else? That's the only thing that's official. Like I said, I'm not doing a lot of productions right now just because I'm concentrating on that. I'll be happy to do productions, and if it works, it works. It's great. But a Place Vendome, for example, is extra work because I'm writing and producing and a lot of stuff going on. So I figured, okay, I'll do a Place Vendome, working Unisonic too. That's a lot of work. That's enough for now. I'll just leave it at that.
And as a producer, do you admire any well-known producer, or?
Oh yeah, lots of.
What can you tell me about the ones you like best?
There's so many. I'm a big Mutt Lange fan, a huge Mutt Lange fan. I absolutely adore George Martin. He's for me the god of producers, if you want to call him that. I also love Bob Rock. I love so many. Michel Wagner, still to me, this is from the 80s, but it's still to me absolutely one of the best. For me, a producer is the guy that gets the best out of the music. He says, this is good, this is not good, concentrate on that, try this, and keeps the diplomacy in the band. And then I think it's very hard to find these people. You know, I haven't worked with very many, and I only know what I read and what I see too, but I like what the results these guys get.
And apart of all the stuff you're doing, do you still have time for listening to new bands, or?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one thing I actually do is call Kosa a lot and ask him, hey, what's cool? What should I buy? What's interesting, what's not? And sometimes I just go randomly on Amazon or YouTube and look at the ratings and see what people say. Like, okay, don't know it, buy it, what the hell. See if it's good, maybe it's shit, I don't know. But just so I keep myself a little bit up to date. But I won't lie, there's some good stuff and I like it every now and then, but if I listen to old stuff, I'm going, this touches me more still somehow, even though...
Any interesting discoveries?
Interesting discoveries. Not really. I don't want to blow anybody's whistle because I don't stand behind them that much, but I have honestly found a few bands that I thought I didn't know of in the past that I really thought, well, this is really something so special. I really think it's got, at least it turns me on at the moment. For me, something's good if I listen to it like in the beginning, a month later, and then maybe a year later, and I still think it's good. If I get sick of it within a year, I probably never really liked it anyway. It was something else that I thought was cool, maybe the cover of the chick singing or something, I don't know. But I can't really give any names of anything I really think that's super special right now.
Okay. And if you could dream as a producer, what really big band would you like to produce?
AC/DC.
I don't think it's going to be another album. It's going to be really difficult.
That would be difficult, yeah.
And an easier one?
Easier one, Jesus Christ, so many. I'd love to do a Journey record or Rush. I don't know, there's so many.
Yeah, because you are really a fan of the melodic stuff.
I do, I'm a big fan of
melodic stuff. Really. What other melodic bands do you like best?
Well, the AOR side of things, I grew up with stuff like Journey and Styx and Eagles, and man, so many things from that direction. The whole 80s era of AOR music was just great stuff. Def Leppard,
wow.
All kinds of stuff. I really don't know where to begin.
And you bands as a work of art or hit? Do you like these bands?
Sorry,
work of art?
Work of art. I don't really know them.
Ah, they are from Sweden. They have recorded 3 albums for Frontiers.
Okay, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't keep so up to date with the Frontiers and the bands coming out. I should. Like I said, I just get turned on by people that know stuff, and I don't listen to it. It wouldn't come on the radio anyway where I live. So I have really no way of touching out to this stuff, or reaching out to that stuff. But I'm not aware of their album. But I believe you if you say they're really good.
And Heat? Do you like Heat?
Heat, I know Heat.
Yeah,
oh yes, Heat. Yeah. I've heard them. Yes, a good band. Yeah.
Yesterday I saw them in Bilbao. They played in Bilbao.
Oh, okay.
Big show.
They played in Madrid one day before us.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Cool.
Yeah.